Hey Mocha family, I am back with my 10-month lock update, and I heard a boom, and I guess that was in congratulations. Nah, there's construction over there beyond the woods. But you guys, 10 months, that means I'm only 2 months away from being locked for 1 year, and I am so excited. So here are the locks, looking thicker, looking fuller. So what I really want to talk about this month is two things really: dryness, and also, like getting rid of the ashy cast, the dusty look. I don't know how else to describe it, but if you're locking your hair, you probably know what I'm talking about. Your hair doesn't have the same vibrant, rich color that it has. It almost has like a grayish tinge to it, and in the past, this has made me run to color my hair to fix the problem. So I stay all the way through, because I'm going to show you what I'm doing to keep the rich color in my hair naturally, because I have colored it in the past. But you guys, I don't know if I'm half joking or not, but the smell of the dye, the semi-permanent dye, smelled so chemical relaxer-y to me. It was almost like having a flashback. I just really want to avoid as many harsh chemicals in my system as possible. So I'm really excited about what I'm about to talk to you guys about later on in the video. But let's talk about dryness first. I feel like when you have locks, you have to make a mental shift about what is dry hair and what is moist hair. And it's never been clearer to me than this past week, because for the past month, I've been running my fingers through my hair and thinking my hair was so soft. And then I had a styling session with my girls, my younger two girls who have loose natural hair, working with their loose hair. After I worked with their loose hair, when I went to run my fingers through my own hair, suddenly I started thinking that my hair was bone dry, and that, oh no, my hair is dry, I need to do something. But what I've come to realize, especially this month, is that the moisturized locks don't feel the same as loose moisturized hair. It's like the difference between the softness and the pliability, I guess I'm making words up, that you would expect when you run your fingers through loose hair versus what you would expect running your fingers through twists or braids or something like that. And so my hair shouldn't feel rough and hard and scratchy, but at the same time, it's not gonna quite feel like it felt when it was loose, because it's a bunch of strands gathered together, and there has to be a little level more friction going on than there would be if my hair was loose. And so I never really noticed that contrast until this past week, when I myself started thinking my hair was so dry, when just earlier I thought it was so moist. So couple of things that I would encourage you to do. Now, you make your own decision. I don't pretend to have the answers for every lock head, and I do know that there are a lot of people with locks that use oil successfully, but I am very wary and leery of oil. First of all, you guys know about the sensitivity I have on my scalp toward oils. I haven't found too many oils except for coconut oil that doesn't cause my scalp to flake up or get very irritated. So I'm really not a big fan of oil. So I'll say that to start with. But with my first set of locks, I was known on occasion, especially in the winter, to use maybe like a dime size amount of oil, castor oil, grapeseed oil, not coconut, on my locks, maybe on my scalp. But I would rub it through my hands when my hair was damp, and rub it throughout my whole head of locks to what I thought was to seal in the moisture. But there is some thought that oil draws a lot of dirt. It traps dirt. It makes your hair dry slower. So when you have locks, it holds the water in your locks longer. Uh, if you don't wash it out properly, it can build up. And there is some thought that oil may ultimately, in the long run, if used improperly, if not washed out properly all the time, you can um, leave yourself susceptible to mold. So with locks, you know how with loose natural hair, the enemy was dry hair. You didn't want to have dry and brittle hair because the hair was going to break off. Well, with locks, I feel like the enemy is mold, because I feel like that's the one thing, when you get mold deep, rotting deep in the heart of your locks, that's something that's very difficult, and some people might even say impossible to get rid of completely, because the process will keep starting all. You can push it back, fight it back, and then it'll start again and again. And there's nothing I hate worse than that mildew smell when your hair is wet and things like that. And so I really avoid oil altogether. I'm not an oil person. So what do I do to keep my hair moisturized and to keep my hair conditioned? Because I don't use creamy conditioners either. I don't use creamy conditioners either. What I do is I really use apple cider vinegar every time I wash my hair with shampoo, not only just to remove any possible buildup from the shampoo, but it also conditions your hair because of the pH and all of that. You Google all the science behind that. But what I've discovered, and this ties in with maintaining the rich color of my hair, is that there are a number of tea recipes that you can use to condition your hair and to encourage elasticity and sheen and all the stuff that we really are looking for when we're saying we want our hair to be moisturized. And these preparations have also left my hair soft. So my hair has a really nice sheen to it. It's not just the sun shining on it. And even if I was inside the house, my hair has a nice, healthy sheen. That sheen that we put grease on our hair to get, my hair has that. And I feel like the teas that I have used have really enhanced that. And so basically, if you Google it, you can Google a number of herbs that have those kind of effects on hair, and I'm going to show you guys the ones that I use or so far, because you know the combinations and the possibilities are endless. And even tea that I get right from my supermarket. Back in the day, you heard about tea rinses all of the time. Every other YouTuber that was doing hair was putting up a video about tea for loose hair and for locks. But you know, when I did my search trying to find what I could use, I could barely find any videos on using tea that are more recent. And so I feel like it was one of those bandwagons that everybody jumped on and then jumped off, and because they just went back to using commercial products. But I use black tea. You guys know that black tea is good to control shedding. Oh my goodness, you guys, I was over here running my mouth getting into it, and then I noticed the video cut off. I just don't even know where I was when the video cut off. But I will say that the favorite tea that I'm using right now is black tea. It's a vanilla chai black tea from Bigelow, and I really love this because we all know from the videos back in the day that people were doing about tea rinses that black tea will stop shedding in its tracks. So if you have a condition like low iron, or I don't know, your thyroid or whatever that's causing you to shed a lot of hair, the black tea will stop that in its tracks. But what I really love about it is the fact that it darkens your hair. So my hair has a really nice sheen to it, and I really feel like, you know, even from the first rinse, I could see, you know, a change in how much darker my locks were. And my hair is already really naturally dark. So when I'm talking about dark hair, I'm talking about that gray tinge that you get sometimes with locks. That's completely gone. And so I also like the smell. Hopefully I'm not like a sugar magnet. I don't think it has any sugar in it. But I haven't noticed bugs flying around my head. But I like the vanilla smell, and it makes my hair really soft. So that's my favorite rinse. But there are a number of other herbs that you can use. Horsetail, nettles, sage is another one that makes your hair dark. Rosemary is really good. It's also a good anti-fungal. So it kind of works like tea tree as far as its antifungal properties. I'll show you. I'm showing you all the ones that I use, but do Google it and find out all the different herbs and what their effects can have. And you can also add essential oils to it. And let me show you my taking y'all into the house, so just be aware that people are might start walking in and talking or whatever. But I basically boil up my tea, and then I refrigerate it, because the last thing you want is to spray some moldy tea into your hair, because you can introduce mold into your hair that way. I actually read about somebody online who experienced that. So, you know, this is my refrigerator. I basically keep it in the door. And I'm going to show you, I got these travel size spray bottles. I used to keep my stuff in these giant spray bottles and not be able to get through it before the stuff would go bad. So I started learning to just make smaller batches of things. And so I love these little spray bottles, because I have them in different colors, so I can remember what I put in each bottle. And that way I can mix and match and do different formulas, because I read somewhere that while the black tea is good to use on your hair, that you don't want to abuse that. You don't want to use it too often, because it's the caffeine of working on your what do you call that, where the hair goes off? Is it a cuticle? You know what I'm talking about. Your scalp, where the hair is growing. That's what causes it to stop shedding. I read something about that. Google it. Don't quote me. Don't make this like fact. Look it up for yourself. But I read that too much caffeine can stunt growth. And so the recommendation was not to do it more than like once a week or a couple of times a week or something like that. And so that's why I like to mix it up with other preparations. So I really love it, because I haven't been washing my hair as much anymore, because my flakes are under control. Because for me, the flaky scalp really is an omega-3 fatty acid deficiency, and I control that with flaxseed and fish oil. And so I'm more apt to rinse my locks. But on mornings where I just don't even have time to do that, you know, I'll spray the tea through my hair. I always spray the tea after I wash my hair. I spray the tea through my hair instead of washing my hair, and to kind of refresh it. And I love it, you guys. I like the way it makes my hair look. I like the way it makes my hair feel. So I haven't seen nary a video on teas anymore. It's almost like back in the day, every other video was about hair teas. Loose Naturals were doing it, as well as people with locks. But I guess people felt like it was a bandwagon, or maybe people are doing it and just not making videos about it. I don't know. But when I was getting online to do my research about the teas, I couldn't find that many newer videos about it. But I really hope it's not something that you neglect to try, because I really think that it works really well, especially for my locks. So I'm excited, you guys, loving them more than ever. They seem to be growing. I'm looking forward to seeing what this set is gonna be. So excited for the 10 months. Hope this helps somebody. Be blessed.